I have a tremendous amount of anxiety before I start interacting with people, with work, personal, what have you. Sometimes I'm still frozen for a couple hours. I get up at 3:15, 3:33, in between those hours, and I do a great workout. I combine something called Pilates and Legree, all body on body weight. I have some weights, but it's about an hour and 20 minutes. That helps me through the rest of my day because I'm doing the back end thing that makes me feel good about myself, helps keep me healthy, helps make me feel better about myself, and it's an accomplishment. Many of us don't give ourselves any credit for things we accomplish. We just don't. Somebody else will give us all the credit in the world, and we're like, well, I hate that person. What are they, blind? They're disgusting. They're lying to me. No, they're not. We're our own worst enemy in many, many ways. So when we make the changes from choices, it's a beautiful gift, and we all can. You can text on the number down here. If you need some help, if you're interested in interacting, definitely would love to hear from you. Definitely would love to read some text messages or phone calls so you can share and talk about what you do and how it helps you. That's the important thing, interacting. Like this show. My show would never be anything, and right now it is what it is, if I didn't have other people helping me and saying, hey, you got to do, the people who do the production, the people who are a part of everything, the people who put it out there. I don't know how to do any of that. So it's all about working together, but it's choices, making the choices that help. Another thing is when you're alone, what do you go through? I would believe, because I know in myself, when I'm alone, I deal with my honesty. Am I a piece of shit today? Did I do something wrong? Did I hang something on somebody else that was on me? What did I do? That's the honesty. And then all of a sudden I get engulfed with this fear. Well, shit, I didn't hear from people that I'm consulting with. So shit, they're going to fire me. They're going to replace me. How the hell am I going to do this? What am I going to do here? I don't owe this person something, but I think I want them to like me. If they're in my life, I don't want them not to be in my life. So we do things and say things. The problem is we don't change. So we'll continue to find the different people. In my personal life, for almost a 4-year period, the only people I spent time with, the only women I spent time with were escorts, or whatever you want to call them. And the reality is it wasn't about people coming in my life. It was like, I'm giving you something, go away. You get what you need, I get what I need. I don't think there's wrong with anybody having that type of arrangement. Anybody thinks there's something wrong with that? No. For years, women have been doing things with men and getting nothing. This doesn't devalue anybody or me. But then again, there was no emotional connection. And I realized with the women, there was no emotional connection on their end. So we all had something that was not healthy for us, no matter what. I ended up falling in love with someone I met on a website like this. I will never discuss it other than this because I don't know the person's life now, what they're doing. I hope they're doing amazing. But I used to think to myself, Jesus, what a pathetic person. I had to do this in order to have someone. But no, because you start out one way and it can end a different way all the time. That's the beauty of being honest with yourself, because we all want everybody to be proud of us. We want people to tell us you're doing a great job. But we need people to tell us the truth. Hey, you messed up here. And talking to us. That's another thing. So many people talk at us. And I'm guilty of it. I've done it in the past. I probably still do it. And when people tell me, I'm like, crap, I didn't realize that. When we're so used to getting our point across one way, it doesn't work that way. We have to really be able to make changes, to sort things out, and see exactly where everything we're working on. One of the biggest things I do, and I said earlier, is I journal. I'm looking at, this is a book that I work with and I wrote and I help people. I journal because it's real. And one mistake I've made my whole life is trying to convince myself in my journal that everything's going to be great. It's a great day. Everything is good. I had a great workout. I ate good. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if it wasn't a great day and I wrote it down and somebody read my journal, they're going to find me as a liar, a hypocrite, pathetic, someone who isn't successful. But I realized those are the things that got me to where I am now. And there's a lot of times if we take a pause and look around, that it comes back to us. And I don't mean us in a way that we are the center of everybody's world, but we are the center of our own. We matter. You matter and I matter. The only time we don't matter is when we tell ourselves. Then we make our lives as if we don't matter. We take ourselves away from what's making us happy, who's making us happy. It's interesting. When my mom passed away, I talked to my nephew a couple months after, and he's like, well, Dad says you haven't talked to him a lot. And I thought about it. I text him all the time, but no, we didn't. And it had more to do with me than anything, because my connection going home 90% of the time was my mom. But then I realized that, I didn't think about that. And when we withdraw from other people or work or situations, the bottom line is we're the one responsible if something goes wrong. It's a shitty thing to say. We all deal with some trauma. We all have trauma, and all our trauma could be different. A good example, someone could pass away, be traumatic to you. This person could have lost a diary that their grandmother gave them when their grandmother's younger. Even though they're two separate things, the trauma of that can affect them both the same and just as drastic. So please don't negate how somebody else feels, because the reason we negate how other people feel is because we negate our own feeling. How many times you ever had somebody say, well, I could do that, or I didn't do this? How many conversations you have with someone and they actually listen to you and hear what you say rather than waiting for you so they could just jump right in?